All right, moving on. So, as you see in this bubble, you got, dentists, clinic, dialysis, more institutions that get rich off of poverty, bro. More institutions that get rich off of poverty. Now, that's not to say that in, I don't want to say wealthy communities, but like, let's say in the county or, better areas, they don't have clinics and dentists and stuff like that because they do, but not as many as you see in the so-called black community, bro. You hear me? And a lot of them only accept Medicare and Medicaid, which you gotta be impoverished, right, to even get. If you making $200,000 a year, you're not getting no Medicaid or Medicare, which means like you're not even welcome in their business. You feel me? But these dentists, bro, they be doing all kinds of slick shit, all kinds of fuckery, bro, to milk that Medicaid and Medicare. You hear me? They be getting the shit out of you, out of the government, like they know what the fuck they doing. Why you performing root canals on a fucking baby? Like they do this type of shit. Unnecessary crowns and you feel me? Saying something is saying you got cavities when you really don't, just to get you to come back so they can do some kind of procedure and bill, your the government, the Medicaid, the Medicare, like they just doing a bunch of unnecessary shit in your mouth to get money, bro. Same thing with these fucking clinics. Same like diagnosing your kids with ADHD and you feel because you gotta think the pharmacies. Some of them have their own pharmacies, own their own. Like some of these clinics own their own pharmacies, but the pharmacist, the doctor, like all these motherfuckers is connected in some way, bro. And sometimes they're deliberately connect, like they doing business with each other, like having meetings. Like, all right, if you have a patient that's happen to have these kind of symptoms, prescribe them this. This is a new medicine we got on the market, and we need to test this out. We need to get this out there. This need to be more popular. We need to, got a quota we need to meet. So make sure you don't prescribe them what you usually prescribe them. Write them a prescription for this. Even though like this ain't even really been tested by the people because it just hit the market. Like you wondering, but you trusting in your doctor because he's the doctor. So you think like he got your best interest. Like, feel me? This is like they have a history of giving people false diagnosis to make money. To make fucking money. Cause remember, poverty is a business in itself, bro. Damn, oh, you don't want to talk about dialysis. For those who don't know what dialysis is, this is dealing with your liver. You feel me? Your liver cleans your blood. So the dialysis is a pretty much, a place where you go and this machine does what your liver is supposed to do. But it's not supposed to be long term. Like, and if it's not liver, it's kidney. One of them. I think it's your liver. Forgive me, y'all. It's either your liver or your kidney, but either way, you're only supposed to be doing dialysis till you get a transplant, a liver transplant or a kidney transplant, whichever one it is. But they got incentive to not get you that transplant. You feel me? Not put you on a list or make sure you're not qualified to get a transplant. Why? Because they want to fill them seats up. You feel me? And if you get that transplant, then you don't need dialysis no more, which means they're not making money off of you. So they have means to keep you in that seat, even if it's to your own fucking detriment. Cause they getting rich off of your fucking man. Cruel, bro. But I'm just showing you how poverty is a business in itself. Foster care, bro, is cruel. Foster kid is cruel, bro. They are robbing people. Another institution who have incentive to remove your kids from you, right? To take your kids away from you for the smallest shit, bro. Why? Because this is a this is a $1 billion program, bro. You hear me? Not only is the government robbing motherfuckers, but the people who are employed by the middleman, back to that middleman, these foster parents, mistreating these kids, sexually abusing them, and getting rich. Don't give no fucks about that child. They only foster parents because they want the money. Your parents might have been on drugs or struggling to make, ends meet, and somebody caught them people on you, and now then they came and checked out where you live at, and your house ain't the par. Now your kids being taken. And speaking of drugs, oh my God, drug treatment scam. Because they pump the drugs in these poverty-stricken areas, bro. Yeah. Now it's not even about the illicit drugs. This is about the not over-the-counter drugs, but these prescription drugs. Which a lot of them are still solicited, but drug treatment, bro. I just don't understand how do you get somebody off a drug by giving them a drug? It's like, this shit is a scam, bro. So you addicted to drugs, and how I'm going to get you off of drugs is by giving you another drug. Right? I mean, it's so many reasons why people in poverty use drugs. That's a whole nother video. But to try to capitalize off it is evil, bro. It's fucking evil. Because you got us hooked on drugs. You hear me? And now, it's like a nigga wearing a mask. 11 o'clock at night. Rob you fucking blind. Right? Run off. 5 minutes later, you on your way home, and some motherfucker comes up to you saying, hey man, I saw what was happening. And I seen a guy who did it. I punched him and beat him up and called the police, and I got all your belongings back. And here. And the whole time, he was the motherfucker who robbed you. But he acting like he helped you. Like, that's what this is. Y'all got us hooked on drugs. Right? And now y'all acting like y'all coming to save the day with this drug treatment shit. But what's really happening is you getting us hooked to another fucking drug. Let's say you pop perks and you tired of popping perks, right? And you're trying to get off of them and you need help. So you go to this drug treatment program. And what do? They give you Suboxone to get off of the perks. So yeah, you're not addicted to the perks no more, but you now addicted to Suboxone, which have his own withdrawals symptoms, which have his own withdrawal symptoms and his own problems that come with it. And you get what I'm saying? You went from being addicted to one drug to now you're addicted to another drug. It's just robbery, bro. But remember, poverty is a business in itself. And then, in closing, let's just run through this real quick, bro. Because these are the byproducts of poverty. Like, none of this would exist. All of these institutions need poverty to survive, bro. A lot of the crime that take place in our neighborhoods is by way of us not having any fucking thing, bro. Of us being indoctrinated, of us being impoverished, of us suffering, and you feel me? Just being ignorant, bro. If I guarantee you, if everybody had at least $100,000 in their bank account, if every family in, the projects, or, what I'm saying, like in your neighborhood had at least $100,000 in that bank account, it wouldn't be no stealing going on. It wouldn't be no robbing going on. Like, it wouldn't be none of that going on, because niggas would be enjoying life. They wouldn't be focused on, oh, I'm about to go hit a lick, or I'm about to go do bip bip bop. No, they'll be enjoying life. They'd be spending money. They'd be taking trips. They'd be, you feel me, like, and enjoying time with their children, like spending money. Like, then you wouldn't need the fucking police. You wouldn't need the police to come police your neighborhoods, because niggas is out enjoying life. They got money. But when you don't got shit, and you got all this idle time, and you struggling to get a job, and you still got to take care of yourself, or you still got to take care of your kids or your woman, like, you resort to certain things, bro. And this is where the police come in, right, to enforce the law. Then you got the hospitals, right? Because people die by way of poverty, not having nothing, and, doing what you got to do to survive. Wouldn't be no, like, I'm not saying people don't get sick, because that's just a part of human nature. Like, you do live and die, but they wouldn't be making as much money. They wouldn't be making as much money or be as needed if it wasn't so much crime and it wasn't so much crime going on, bro. And you got jails and private owned prisons like this. Bro, it's a fucking scam, bro. Do you think that the police, right, or the people who own these private owned prisons want crime to stop? They know if they get rid of poverty, a lot of this crime is done away with. They want these jails to function. They want the police to be employed. They want these hospitals to be packed daily. Like, as long as it's a problem that feed off of each other. They problems that feed off of each other, bro. Hear me? Jail is a booming business because poverty exists. You know how many people is locked up for theft, armed robbery, right? Assault, battery, murder. I'm not saying every crime that's committed revolves around stealing from somebody because you don't got nothing. I'm just saying the foundation of a lot of shit that happened in our community that land us here after we encounter these people, and then eventually we land here. The root of it is this. The root of it is poverty, bro. The root of it is poverty, bro. I'm telling you, you solve poverty, you solve so many problems, bro. So many problems, and they know that. This is why they don't want to dissolve poverty, because poverty is a business in itself. It's so much to really go into with this. You feel me? I'm just trying to sum it all up in this little small video, but it's so much more, bro. But I got to go to work. So, we going to have to come back to this. But it's a PZ world, man. These better wake up and down and sleep. You mad or not?